Hello, I'm here to speak to you about fair trade, which ensures that farmers and workers in the developing world receive a fair price and also have decent working conditions when they work to produce the goods that we buy. My name is Jane. I'm a member of the Three Rivers Fairtrade Group who work to spread the message about what a difference buying fair trade makes. We work with lots of different local organisations, groups, shops, places of worship and schools locally, and we also take part in community events. You may have seen some of us, myself included, wearing a banana costume on occasion. So that is just really about spreading awareness. And I was particularly pleased to be asked to make this for Green Croxley, because there are two elements which are at the heart of Green Croxley and also at the heart of fair trade, and they are things that we have become increasingly aware of their importance over the past year. Those two aspects are community and the environment. So, to start with the communities, when you buy a fair trade product, the price includes something called the fair trade premium. Now that amount that's included goes to community, the members of the community where the fair trade producers are, and the members of that community choose how to spend it. Of course, there are lots and lots of different ways it can be spent for the good of the community, and because it's decided locally, that is a really good way of ensuring that the fair trade price not only benefits the farmer or worker and their families, but also the community they work within, and as we know, that is a very important thing for us all. Now, the posters behind me show some examples of the things that the fair trade premium goes towards. One of them, the one that says you're not just sweetening your day, refers to education. Now that is a really important part of what the fair trade premium goes to, because a lot of farmers really struggle to provide education for their families. Of course, they don't have free education like we have here, and I have been fortunate to hear directly from farmers and their families, including a young woman who gave a very moving account. She had been able to have secondary education and go to university, which just wouldn't have been possible for her had it not been for that opportunity through fair trade. And another example, which talks about you're not just brewing a cuppa, that is about providing drinking water for some tea estate workers in Malawi. So when you're enjoying a fair trade product, you're not just enjoying, and I enjoy coffee, bananas and chocolate and lots of other things as well, but you're also contributing towards, good things for other people as well. Now to the second aspect, the environment. Again, we have become increasingly aware in so many different ways how the environment is important. Now, the environmental protection is something that is deeply ingrained in fair trade. Ever since it was invented, the Fairtrade mark has required farmers to sign up to some very rigorous standards before they can be awarded the Fairtrade mark for their products, that including things like reducing the use of harmful pesticides. But the Fairtrade Foundation also does more than that. It provides training so that farmers can learn to farm in harmony with the environment. So that would include things like helping them switch to solar and green energy, reforestation projects and restoring natural areas. For example, they could also grow trees and crops together, because that will help the crops to grow, because it prevents soil erosion, protecting diversity and wildlife conservation, and reducing water usage. So they're just some of the ways that Fairtrade farmers are encouraged, and a lot of them have been doing many of those things already, because they, being close to the environment themselves, they tend to do that more than the big commercial operations would do anyway. And now recently, of course, the Fairtrade Foundation have also had to include some training for the farmers to mitigate the effects of climate change, to help them become resilient. One example of that is coffee growers in Costa Rica who replant the trees to prevent the soil erosion, and they use environmentally friendly ovens fueled by coffee hulls and shells of macadamia nuts. So they don't cut forest trees, they conserve the rainforest and the oxygen they produce, and they're using the waste at the same time. So it's, you know, double win really. So at this time of climate change, it is really important for us to buy fair trade and support fair trade farmers. They're among the people who have contributed the least to the climate crisis, but they are the ones who suffer greatly from it. They're well used to occasional severe effects of the climate, such as hurricanes and flooding, but now, instead of just once in a while, these come one after the other, which makes it so difficult, and particularly for those who are at the mercy of the international market. And as we know, that is not always a fair thing to be involved in. They may end up having to sell the goods they produce for less than it costs to grow them. So, as I say, it's more important than ever that we support these people by buying fair trade. So thank you for listening, and I would like to wish Green Croxley all the very best with their projects, and I've been very pleased to have been part of it in this small way. Thank you.